Future wars are both about us as human beings being reduced to raw material. There's a brilliant book by a Harvard economist called Surveillance Capitalism that's basically saying that the next stage of capitalism is human beings as the raw material for capitalism.
So do you think the coming generation war is going to be on natural resources and it's concerning at the same time?
I think the war over natural resources has been going on ever since colonialism started. Colonialism was a war against the natural resources of other countries. America belonged to the indigenous people there. It was grabbed from them. 90% were killed. India's land was not property of the peasants, but used by the peasants, announced to be property of England, and Lagan started being extracted.
True.
And at one level, it was a war of 60 million people died because of famine, because of extraction. That's a war. And then you come to industrialism. Every war of the last century is over oil and gas. If you look at the Middle East, why is it just non-stop wars? Why was Syria invaded? Why was Iraq invaded? They are all wars for natural resources. The wars of the future will be over everything being reduced to natural resources. The British reduced land to a resource and property. Then in the age of Monsanto, seeds were reduced to property, and seed wars are real wars, I've lived through them. This is my generation. Trying to own and patent the seed, driving farmers to suicide. 400,000 farmers ending their lives is a war. Future wars are both about us as human beings being reduced to raw material. Because they now say data is the big oil.
Big oil, yeah.
If data is the big oil, where's it coming from? Human beings. We are generating the data using a computer with your smartwatch while you're doing your running. Every bit of that data, the pace of your pulse, your blood, your heartbeat, it's all being taken, being turned into raw material to then be commodified, manipulate you, and to modify you. It's called behavioral science. And there's a brilliant book by a Harvard economist called Surveillance Capitalism that's basically saying that the next stage of capitalism is human beings as the raw material for capitalism.